In the year 1632, within a secluded monastery nestled in the misty peaks of ancient China, a young monk received a lesson that would shatter his understanding of reality. The master, an old man with eyes that held the stillness of a deep lake, posed a simple question. Liang, if a single thought arises in your mind, how many more will follow? The young disciple answered quickly, 1,000, master. The old sage shook his head slowly. Incorrect. There will be none. Because the instant you chase that first thought, you have already lost the entire battle. This is the paradox every true seeker must resolve. True power, he would learn, springs not from action, but from stillness, not from controlling thoughts, but from understanding their nature, not from the effort of the mind, but from the silence that contains it. The monks who grasped this became enlightened. Those who failed remained trapped in an endless cycle of suffering. And here is the truth they never share with you. This principle extends far beyond meditation. It applies to your entire existence. At this very moment, you are wrestling with 1,000 concerns. Your career, your family, your health, your future. And you are being defeated by all of them for the exact same reason that novice monks struggled 5 centuries ago. You are lost in the storm, never realizing you are the sky. You are fighting 1,000 phantoms instead of confronting the single source from which they spring. The real question is this: are you prepared to discover what these ancient monks knew? Chapter 1. The Illusion of Control. The year is 1632. The Ming Dynasty is in its twilight, but high in the Wudang Mountains, a monastic tradition endures. Liang was 19 years old when his frustration finally crested. He had lived within the monastery walls for 6 years. 6 years of seated meditation, of studying sacred texts, of practicing the moving forms. He could sit for hours in perfect posture. His mind was sharp, his memory formidable, his theoretical knowledge vast. Yet he possessed a flaw that no amount of study could remedy: resistance. During group meditation, Liang's internal world would erupt. Am I doing this correctly? Why is my back aching? The brother next to me seems so much more serene. His body would grow stiff. His breath would become forced and shallow. His serene facade would splinter. The other acolytes took notice. Quiet words in the courtyard. Liang possesses great knowledge, but his spirit is turbulent. He is trying too hard. He will never achieve the breakthrough. The breakthrough. The final gateway that separated a student from an adept. A profound inner shift, a direct taste of true nature. Most disciples experience this before their 20th year. Liang was already 19, and his master, the venerable Master Jin, had not even hinted that he was close. One twilight, after the evening chanting, Liang approached his master. The old man was seated in the lotus position, before the main hall's great statue, his eyes softly closed. Liang knelt on the cold stone and waited. 5 minutes, 10, 20. Finally, Master Jin opened his eyes. Master, Liang began, his voice barely a whisper. When will I be ready for the true understanding? The master observed him. Those eyes had witnessed decades of silence, guided hundreds of seekers. They perceived everything. You are intellectually prepared now, Liang, Master Jin stated. But intellectual readiness is an empty vessel. It is meaningless. I do not comprehend, Master. Stand, walk with me. Liang rose, and they walked into the quiet garden. Now, tell me of the scripture we studied this morning. Liang began to recite, his mind searching for the perfect interpretation, the most impressive phrasing. He spoke for a full minute. Master Jin listened, then shook his head. No. You are lying to me. Liang was stunned. Master, I recited it accurately. You recited words. You performed. You were not communicating from understanding. You were afraid of giving the wrong answer, afraid of my judgment, afraid of appearing foolish. Your awareness was in 10 future moments, and not one of them was this one. Here, with me. The words landed in Liang's heart with the weight of stones. Until you learn to be utterly present, you will never know truth. You will be a library filled with scrolls no one can read. Go. Contemplate this. That night, Liang did not sleep. He sat on his humble cot, watching the moon paint shadows on the wall. He had given 6 years of his life to this path. 6 years of austerity, of discipline, of unwavering dedication. And he was failing not because of a lack of effort, but because of the very quality of that effort. He recalled his master's piercing observation. Your awareness was in 10 future moments. It was true. In every meditation, in every conversation, in every task, Liang was thinking about the goal, about enlightenment, about achieving a state, about everything except the raw, simple reality of the experience itself. As the first light of dawn touched the sky, Liang made a vow. He would find the way, no matter the cost. Chapter 2. The Principle of the Uncluttered Mind. The following morning, Master Jin made an announcement. Today, there will be no meditation. Today, we will draw water. The disciples exchanged confused glances, but remained silent. Obedience. For the whole day, they carried buckets from the mountain spring to the storage cisterns. Repetitive, physical labor. Simple work. Or so it seemed to Liang. He carried the wooden buckets, his mind adrift. This is a waste of precious time. I should be in the hall deepening my practice. The breakthrough is what matters, not this mundane chore. Then he observed his master. Master Jin was also carrying water, but he moved differently. Each step was mindful, balanced. When he lifted the bucket, he was fully lifting the bucket. When he poured the water, he was fully pouring the water. There was a profound quality of attention in his movements, a completeness that transformed the simple act into a sacred ritual. Liang watched, his own restlessness beginning to quiet. After the work was done, the master called him over. What did you discover today, Liang? Liang hesitated. That the monastery requires water to function. Master Jin offered a faint smile. No. Walk with me. They proceeded to a small, spare library. A single scroll was unfurled on a low table. 2 characters were brushed in stark, black ink. Wu Xin. The uncluttered mind, the master said. Do you know its meaning? To have no thoughts? Deeper. When an infant sees a butterfly for the first time, what is in its awareness? Liang pondered. Wonder. Pure observation. Yes. And what else? Nothing else. Just the butterfly. Just that sight. Precisely. The uncluttered mind is free of commentary, free of judgment, free of the past and future. It is empty of everything except what is. The infant does not think about the nature of flight. It only experiences the color, the movement, this moment. The master sat, Liang followed. Now, tell me, Liang, when you carried the water, where was your awareness? Liang felt a flush of heat to his face. Elsewhere, thinking about meditation, about my progress, about the future. And when you sit in meditation, the same pattern. Thinking about stillness, about achieving a quiet mind, about success and failure. So you are never truly engaged with reality. You carry water while thinking of silence. You seek silence while thinking of enlightenment. You are perpetually one step removed from the actual experience. This is the root of your struggle. The master's voice was calm, yet each word was a precise incision. The monk's ultimate tool is not knowledge, it is presence. Mindfulness, alertness, the ordinary heart. All these point to one essential truth. Be completely here, now. He gestured to the scroll. Wu Xin is the foundation. Clear your awareness of the 10,000 things. Meet only what stands before you. Liang gazed at the brushstrokes. Wu Xin, the uncluttered mind. Master, how does one cultivate this? Master Jin stood. Beginning tomorrow, you will practice differently. Every action you take, breathing, walking, working, eating, you will perform with your entire being. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When you observe your breath, there is only the breath. The universe, in that moment, contains nothing else. For how long must I do this? Until you realize it. Perhaps 1 week, perhaps 1 year, perhaps 10. That is not for me to decide. That evening, Liang began. He sat for his usual meditation. But instead of striving for emptiness, he simply sat, feeling the air on his skin, hearing the night sounds, being present. Thoughts emerged. Is this it? Am I present now? This feels wrong. Each time, he noticed the thought, let it be, and gently returned his attention to the physical sensation of sitting, here, now. This single breath. It felt like the most difficult, yet most simple thing he had ever attempted. If you are starting to sense how this radical presence could alter your existence, the way it began to alter Liang's, then you are in the right place. Subscribe to the Inner Dialogue and journey with us as we unpack timeless wisdom for a modern life. Chapter 3. The 30-Day Experiment. The first week was a battle against his own nature. Liang's mind fought the constraint of presence with every fiber of its being. Eating a single bowl of rice became an epic test of patience. Walking from his room to the main hall felt like an immense journey. His internal voice shouted, "This is absurd. You are falling behind. The others are advancing while you are just being." But he persisted, for the master had illuminated a path, and Liang was determined to walk it to its end. The second week brought a subtle shift. During morning chanting, Liang noticed something peculiar. For a handful of heartbeats, the constant internal narration ceased. It did not stop because he suppressed it. It simply dissolved. In that brief space of quiet, he felt the vibration of the chant in his chest, saw the dust motes dancing in a sunbeam, experienced a direct perception without a thinker. It was like a door had cracked open, revealing a world he had only ever heard described. The moment faded, the mental noise returned. But now, Liang knew. Silence was not a concept. It was a real state, accessible and tangible. He deepened his practice. When sweeping, he became the sweeping. The arc of the broom, the scent of the old wood, the feel of the handle in his palms. That was his entire world. When eating, he tasted each vegetable, each grain. He chewed slowly, fully experiencing the miracle of nourishment. When walking, each footfall was a complete event. Lift, move, place, shift. The other acolytes began to whisper. Liang moves like he's in a dream. He eats as if each bite is his last. Has he abandoned the path? But the master observed, offered no praise nor criticism, and simply waited. Week 3 introduced the real challenge. A teaching dialogue with a senior brother named Ming, who had already experienced the breakthrough. The old Liang would have been consumed by thoughts. Ming is so much wiser. What if I say something foolish? I need to demonstrate my insight. The new Liang simply sat, present and open. Ming posed a complex philosophical question about the nature of self. And something remarkable occurred. Liang's response arose not from memorized texts, but from a place of immediate, intuitive understanding. He spoke clearly, his words simple yet profound. No rehearsal, no anxiety, just a pure expression of what was true in that moment. Ming leaned back, a look of genuine surprise on his face. They spoke further. This time, Liang wasn't debating Ming. He was simply exploring the question with him, fully present to the shared inquiry. It was as if the understanding was speaking through him, not from him. The dialogue concluded. Ming bowed respectfully. "You have changed, brother. Your words carry a different weight." Liang returned the bow, silent. But within him, a profound realization was dawning. Presence was not just a practice for the cushion. It was the very source of genuine wisdom and connection. When you are fully here, you do not speak from memory or fear. You speak from awareness. And awareness is always more authentic, more responsive, and more powerful than any prepared answer. That evening, Master Jin summoned him. "Tomorrow," the master said, "you will join me for a private audience." Liang felt the old, familiar tremor of anxiety. Then he let it pass. "Here, now, only this." "Yes, master, I am ready." For the first time in 6 years, he felt this was not a lie. Chapter 4. The Inner Alchemy. Before we witness Liang's audience, let's examine the mechanics behind his transformation. Contemporary neuroscience has validated what these monks knew centuries ago. Presence is a skill that can be trained, and this training physically alters the brain's architecture. When Liang practiced unwavering attention, he was quieting his default mode network. This is the neural circuitry responsible for our wandering mind, our self-critical stories, and our chronic worrying about what was or what might be. Every time he gently returned his focus to the present, he was fortifying his prefrontal cortex, the region governing focused attention, emotional balance, and wise decision-making. This is not philosophy. It is biological fact. Research on long-term meditators reveals increased gray matter in areas related to sustained focus and a noticeable decrease in activity within the brain's fear and anxiety centers. The ancient monks lacked fMRI scanners, but they possessed a perfect experiential grasp of the principle. The great sage Lao Tzu, author of the Tao Te Ching, wrote, "To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders." This is presence, the capacity to be completely at rest within the flux of existence, to meet any circumstance without internal conflict. Another master, Huang Po, taught, "The foolish man rejects the thing he sees, not the seeing itself. The wise man rejects the seeing, not the thing itself." Modern psychology terms this decentering or meta-awareness. The monks called it Wu Xin, the uncluttered mind. But there is a deeper layer still. When Liang spoke with Ming from a place of presence, his amygdala, the brain's alarm bell, had less influence over his reactions. His understanding emerged without the interference of his ego's need to be right or impressive. This is what the masters meant by no mind, not a blank emptiness, but a mind that is not obstructed by its own content. Thoughts and feelings arise, but they do not commandeer your being. The classic text, the Yellow Emperor's classic of internal medicine, states, "When the mind is tranquil and the spirit is preserved, disease cannot take hold." This sounds like a health tip, but it's profound psychology. By cultivating an inner stillness, the monk makes himself immune to the dis-ease of a turbulent psyche. They understood a fundamental truth. You cannot control the events of life, but you can master your relationship to them through unwavering presence. When you are fully here, fear does not vanish, but it ceases to be the captain of your ship. You feel it, you acknowledge its presence, and you choose your action from a deeper, calmer center. This is the immovable spirit, not a spirit that is never moved, but one that is not moved from its center by external or internal storms. Liang was discovering this not through intellectual comprehension, but through the raw, unmediated data of his own experience. Through 30 days of consciously choosing presence over mental chatter, awareness over reaction, being over striving. Now, he would face his master's final assessment. If this voyage into ancient China is speaking to you, if you are ready to learn the practices that forge an unshakable present mind, subscribe to the Inner Dialogue. We are a community dedicated to turning wisdom into lived experience. Chapter 5. The Audience. The master's private chamber was spare, containing only a small mat and an incense burner. Liang entered and knelt. Master Jin sat opposite him, his presence filling the quiet space. Liang, you have trained for 6 years. Today I have no questions for you. I have only one instruction. Sit with me. And so they sat, in silence. The old Liang would have been frantic. What does he want? What is the purpose of this? Is this the test? How do I pass? The new Liang simply sat. He felt the cool air, smelled the sandalwood incense, heard the faint sound of his own heartbeat. Here, now, only this. He noticed thoughts arising, but he did not follow them. He noticed sensations in his body, but he did not resist them. He was simply aware. 10 minutes passed. 20. An hour. The silence was not empty. It was vibrant, alive, potent. Then Master Jin spoke, his voice soft yet clear in the stillness. Good. That was all. Liang looked up. The master's eyes held a new quality, a deep, unreserved recognition. You have passed through the gate. A profound relief, not of tension released, but of a journey truly begun, washed over Liang. Master, I feel this is not an ending. Master Jin nodded. It is the first awakening from seeker to finder. But there is a second awakening from finder to the found itself. For that, you must leave this monastery. Liang was taken aback. Leave? Yes. I am sending you to the port city of Quanzhou. There you will work on the docks for 1 year, not in meditation, but in the chaos of the world. Because the next stage of mastery is not about finding peace in silence. It is about discovering that same silence within the marketplace. Liang believed he had learned presence. But amidst the shouting laborers, the crashing waves, and the frantic commerce, he would learn that the tranquility of the mountain was merely a preparation for the true test. The real training was about to commence. Chapter 6. The Marketplace. The port of Quanzhou was a cacophony of sounds, smells, and frenetic energy. Liang arrived with his simple robe, his disciplined mind, his hard-won inner quiet. The foreman, a gruff man named Bao, looked him up and down. You're the monk? You won't last a week. Get to work unloading that shipment. And so began the most challenging year of Liang's life. No meditation halls, no chanting, no supportive community. Just backbreaking labor, shouting men, and the constant, overwhelming stimulus of the outside world. The first month was an internal war. Liang's mind, so carefully cultivated in the monastery, was assaulted by the chaos. This is madness. This will destroy my progress. I should be in contemplation, not hauling crates. His body ached. His mind reeled. Master Bao's shouts were like physical blows. But he persisted, for he trusted his master's wisdom. Somewhere, beneath the turmoil, he knew there was a purpose. Month 2 brought another crack in his resistance. During a frantic effort to secure cargo before a storm, everyone was yelling, running, panicking. Liang felt his own anxiety rising, his heart pounding. Then he remembered. Here, now. He stopped, took one conscious breath, and felt his feet on the wet dock. The chaos did not disappear, but his entanglement with it did. He resumed work, but now he moved with a strange, efficient calm amidst the storm. He was fully present with the task of tying a knot, fully present with the weight of a box, fully present with the rain on his face. The panic around him ceased to be a trigger. It became just another part of the landscape of the moment. He began to practice Wu Xin in action. When negotiating a price, be completely with the negotiation. When handling fragile goods, be completely with the handling. When resting, be completely with the rest. He discovered that presence was not a state to be achieved only in perfect conditions, but a quality of attention that could be brought to any condition. The Zen masters called this everyday mind. Months 3 through 6 saw a deepening of this embodied understanding. The port routine became his new monastery. Wake before dawn, work the docks, eat simple meals, sleep. Every interaction, every strain of muscle, every moment of frustration became grist for the mill of his practice. Liang found layers of engagement he had never imagined. There was surface engagement doing the task. Then deeper engagement, feeling the life energy moving through the task. Then even deeper, recognizing the silent, unmoved awareness that witnessed the entire drama of the port without being stained by it. Month 7 presented the ultimate test. Master Bao, now grudgingly respectful, approached him. There's a problem. A merchant, Master Deng, believes we've stolen a crate of his finest silk. He's angry, influential. He's coming with guards. This could get violent. You talk well. You handle it. Liang felt the old patterns stir, the monk's pride. Finally, a chance to use my wisdom. But the newer, deeper awareness simply noted, the ego seeks a role. He bowed slightly. I will see what can be done. As he turned to go, Bao added, and Liang, don't get us killed. Liang walked to meet the merchant, his breath steady, his mind clear. Each step on the cobblestones was a meditation. He arrived at the warehouse to find Master Deng, a man with a face like thunder, flanked by 2 armed men. Where is my silk? Liang stood, grounded and present, his hands open at his sides. Master Deng, let us look together. Accusation is a storm that blinds all parties. The merchant scoffed. I have looked. It is gone. Then we will look with new eyes, Liang said, his voice calm, a pool of stillness in the tense air. He walked slowly through the warehouse, his senses fully alert. He was not just looking for a crate. He was being present with the entire environment. The other dock workers watched, nervous. Then Liang saw it. A ledger left on a barrel, and a discrepancy. A shipment had been logged for the wrong warehouse bay. He pointed it out, his manner not accusatory, but simply factual. The record suggests it is here, in Bay 4, not Bay 3 where you searched. They opened the bay. There sat the crate, misplaced in the earlier frenzy. Master Deng was stunned. The tension dissolved. He looked at Liang, this calm dock worker who had averted a disaster. You are not like the others. Liang smiled gently. I am just here, the same as you. The merchant left, appeased. The crisis was averted. Not through force, not through clever argument, but through presence. Through a mind uncluttered enough to see what was actually there. Liang returned to Master Bao, who clapped him on the back. How did you do that? Liang thought for a moment. I did nothing. I simply stopped adding my own confusion to the situation that was already confused. The clearest vision emerges from the stillest mind. Later, in a letter to Master Jin, Liang wrote of the experience. The master's reply was brief. "You have learned that the ultimate practice is not to leave the world, but to be so deeply rooted in your own nature that the world cannot disturb you. The beginner monk seeks to control his mind. The advanced monk seeks to understand it. The master realizes there was never a mind to control, only a vast, aware space in which all things come and go." This is the final teaching. Wu Xin is not about having no thoughts. It is about not being owned by them. Mindfulness is not just for the cushion. It is for the argument, the accident, the celebration. The immovable spirit is not an unfeeling rock. It is the profound flexibility of a bamboo in the wind, rooted so deeply that it can bend without breaking. You learned these principles in the silence of the mountain. Now you are learning they are the very fabric of the noisy world. This is what it means to be truly free. Not a person who has escaped life, but one who meets it completely, unwaveringly present in every single moment. Liang read the words, and they resonated not as concepts, but as his own lived reality. His training was complete, yet he knew the practice was never complete. The epilogue. 10 years hence. Liang now runs a small school in a bustling town not far from the port. Master Jin has long since passed from the world. A new student arrives, bright-eyed and fervent. "Master Liang, I wish to master my mind, to conquer my thoughts and achieve enlightenment." Liang smiles. He has heard this before. He once said it himself. "Come, sit with me." They sit in the small garden behind the school. "Do you see that stream?" Liang points to the water flowing past. "Yes, master." "What is in the water?" The student looks. Leaves, twigs, reflections of the sky. "And where is the water?" The student is confused. "It is flowing, carrying the leaves." "Yes, your mind is the water. The thoughts are the leaves. Your practice is not to stop the water or to remove the leaves. Your practice is to be the water itself, vast, clear, and undisturbed by what flows through it." The young seeker looks puzzled, just as Liang once did. "I don't understand." "You will, with time and with a different kind of effort. The effort of no effort, the trying of not trying. Now, before we discuss philosophy, we begin with something else." "What is that?" Liang hands him a bucket. "Fetch water from the well, and when you fetch water, just fetch water. Be completely present with the rope, the bucket, the well's depth." "Can you do that?" The student, slightly disappointed, nods. "Yes, master." Liang watches him walk away, seeing the mind already wandering, the impatience, the desire for something grander. He sees his younger self in the student's eager steps, and he smiles. The cycle continues. The teaching is transmitted not through words, but through a quality of being, through the profound power of a life lived in unwavering attention. This is the true path. Not control, but understanding. Not domination, but harmony. Not achieving, but being. The path of inner mastery is not about the mind. It is about the presence that awareness brings to the mind. If you are ready to walk this path, to train in the ancient arts of conscious living, then join our community. Subscribe to the Inner Dialogue, press the like button, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration. Transform your inner world, and you transform everything. Walk in presence, live with clarity, become unshakable. We will see you in the next video. You are not the storm of your thoughts, but the space holding them.